I think maybe we're live, everybody. Howdy, readers. I'm Jason. This is chapter and verse, and this is slightly nerve-wracking because if if this is doing what I think it's doing right now, I'm live, which means there'll be no editing, which means my anxiety will be on full display, all that jazz. Um, but I wanted to do a ramble with the yarn live this morning as a way of um, testing something on my channel. So I enabled the live streaming aspect of the channel this morning for the first time um, because I have an idea for December. And as some of you guys know, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because I film on an iPad and upload on a PC, or I'm not sure. But for whatever reason, I have a 15-minute time restriction on my videos. Even though in my account, I have it set up to where videos longer than 15 minutes are enabled, it still won't let me upload anything longer than 15 minutes, and it's been that way from the beginning. So I figure, okay, well, that's fine. It's good. It forces me to kind of keep things short. And but I want to read in December, approaching Christmas. I would really like to read A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens with you guys, to you guys. Like we're sitting around a fire and and you guys are listening to me read Christmas Carol. But I couldn't think of how to do that with videos that were limited 15 minutes in length. And then last night, so I've seen a couple of booktubers kind of experiment with the live stream. And last night, I saw Paperback Junkie doing it. And he does it pretty often, actually. And so I've never talked to anybody about this, or how they make it work for them, or if it's even, I have no idea if this is even going up on my channel right now. I have absolutely no way of knowing. But anyway, so I figure if I can do it live in December, if I can have, I think there are 5 sections, 5 chapters of A Christmas Carol. If I can have 5 distinct live sessions where I read a stave from A Christmas Carol, I thought that would be really pretty freaking cool. So this is the test. And I just thought I would go through a couple of points, ramble with the yarn style with you guys. And yes, let's just get right to it. I got my notes, got my yarn. So first thing I wanted to do, which is something I've been meaning to do for a while now, this happened almost 2 months ago, is I wanted to share with you guys the news that Kelly Link, the short story writer, fairy tale kind of reinterpreter, who wrote Magic for Beginners. What's that one book of hers that was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize? I can't remember. Anyway, Magic for Beginners is the book of hers that I've read. It's fabulous. But early last month, she was one of the many artists and doers, let's say, who was awarded what is called a MacArthur Genius Grant. And what that is, so the MacArthur, I think it's the MacArthur Foundation. I don't know where they get the money for this. If anybody knows like how these things are funded, let me know in the comments, because I would absolutely love to know. But essentially, so the MacArthur Foundation every year identifies, I want to say it's like 25 different people in completely diverse fields, right? So there might be a novelist, there might be a history professor, there might be I don't know, maybe like a meteorologist or a climatologist, or a sculptor, or a choreographer. I mean, it could be any of many different things. But they identify 25 or so people who they believe are doing really visionary, groundbreaking work in their field or industry. And then they award them, no strings attached, they award them a massive amount of money. A grant that does not need to be paid back. It is just simply theirs, and it's a way of enabling them to continue with their work without having to worry about money. So, as we all know, writers don't make very much money. So a writer, if my understanding is correct, a writer makes $1 or $2 per book that is sold, per copy that is sold. Which is why, I mean, most novelists, right, they also teach in creative writing programs, or they have day jobs. Certainly poets do. Poets don't make any money. But anyway, so Kelly Link was awarded a MacArthur Genius Grant, which means that over the next 5 years, she is going to be awarded in 5 kind of distinct payments, a total of $625,000, which is pretty extraordinary. Yeah, I would guess Get in Trouble. That's the book of hers that was a finalist for the Pulitzer. I would guess that she has, I don't know, if she has made that much money from her books themselves. I would guess that it's over the course of her entire career thus far, but she may not have even made that much money from her actual writing. So that's cool. And you know, a lot of writers have been awarded these things in the past. I think Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie was awarded a MacArthur Genius Grant. Cormac McCarthy, Steve Donahue's favorite writer, was awarded one way back when, kind of in the days of Blood Meridian. In fact, Blood Meridian might have been the product, actually, of a MacArthur Fellowship. Although the monies that writers were given with these things way back when was considerably less, I think, than the $625,000 now. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I thought that was really cool news. Let's see here. So were any of you fans of Northern Exposure back in the early 90s? Right, it was a TV show on CBS. Starred Rob Morrow, John Corbett, Barry Corbin. Oh gosh, who was it? Janine Turner. And it had kind of cameos from some people who go on to be much more famous than the people in the show. Anyway, that was my favorite TV show, and I didn't actually watch it when it was on the air. It wasn't until it had been canceled and it was in syndication on on a network that was called A&E, which I think is still around, Arts and Entertainment, but they just do dumb shit on it now, like Duck Dynasty and stuff like that. But when I was in college, A&E aired reruns of Northern Exposure, one a day, during a little kind of midday segment that they had called Daybreaks, A&E Daybreaks. And it really kind of got me through college, that show. I absolutely loved that TV show. There was a character on there named Chris in the Morning. He was a DJ in this little radio station, right? So the town, the show took place in a fictional town in Alaska called Sicily that had a population of like 600 people. It was filmed in Roslyn, Washington. And anyway, this DJ in this little radio station in this little country town up in the boonies, he would always be on there talking about, you know, Walt Whitman or Sylvia Plath or this philosopher or that philosopher. I thought I heard geese outside. And I just remember thinking how cool it was that here was a primetime TV show that was mentioning the work of these writers. And then there was a character named Ed Chigliak, who was a big film buff, and so he would be talking about Woody Allen or Ingmar Bergman or Martin Scorsese, and I just remember thinking, wow, this is absolutely wonderful that we have a television program that is putting these artists on people's radar. And like I said, it really got me through college. And I used to say that anybody could kind of identify themselves as a kind of recipe of Northern Exposure characters, right? So like I was like one cup Dr. Fleischman, one cup Chris in the Morning, the DJ, and then like I don't know, a quarter cup of Ed Chigliak, who was the film buff guy, and but I mean there were all these other characters on the show with really distinct personalities, and I felt like kind of all of us were all of these characters in some combination. But anyway, I'm bringing up Northern Exposure because I have been following this story for 2 or 3 years now. They have been trying to get it rebooted, whether by a streaming service or by a network. And all of the actors have kind of come together. All the actors who are still alive have come together and have been trying to get this rebooted. And here in the last few days, CBS has announced that they're rebooting it, and it looks like we can expect new Northern Exposure episodes next fall, which is like the coolest TV news I have ever gotten. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of any Game of Thrones news that I prefer to that, anything. So for those of you who loved Northern Exposure, it's coming back, which is absolutely thrilling. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is Library of America. Sorry. And some of you, I think, are familiar with these books, right? They're like little hardcovers with like a black dust jacket, red, white, and blue stripe across the middle, an author photo at the top of the cover, and it's really thin, acid-free onion skin paper. The paper is so thin in the volumes because they collect a number of the writer's books or works in a single volume. And oh, hey, we got somebody. Oh, we got somebody watching. Cheers! Is that Jessica? Oh, that's fabulous. I guess it must be working. But anyway, so Library of America sent us something in the mail recently inviting us to become a member, which we've never done before. I had no idea that there was a 501c3 that was affiliated with Library of America and its cause. And so, God, I had the paperwork on the counter for like 2 months, mulling it over, and finally just decided, what the hell, let's do it. And so we made a donation to Library of America, so we are officially becoming Library of America members, I guess it is. And you get a free book for becoming a member, and then at the level we join, we're going to get a couple more free books in the coming year. So the free book that we're expecting is a Barbara Tuchman volume, and it contains The Guns of August, which is, I think, her book about World War One. Correct me if I'm wrong. And a book of hers, I think it's called The Proud Tower. We have one of her books called A Distant Mirror here at home. I haven't read it yet, but there was a choice of 3 books for the free one, and so that's what I decided on for the free book was the Barbara Tuchman. And then for the other 2 books, when the time comes, they have a collection of Reinhold Niebuhr's religious writing. I think maybe a couple books of his, sermons of his, just kind of a variety of things of Niebuhr's. So I think we'll get that one. And then for the other book, I'm not sure. I was looking at the website last night, trying to decide what to get when the time comes, and I'm kind of torn between. They have a Wendell Berry volume. They have an Aldo Leopold volume. They have a Rachel Carson volume. So I'm intrigued by those. I've read Aldo Leopold's The Sand County Almanac. That's a terrific book, and that volume contains it, as well as other work of his. But anyway, I thought that was kind of fun, bookish news that I wanted to share with you guys. So there's that, Library of America. And then the last thing I wanted to share, which has, I don't think anything at all to do with books. I'm not even sure I could kind of strain to make a bookish connection there. But it's just hugely on my mind. And Kelly's kind of sick of me talking about it and sort of just waxing lyrical about the whole thing. So I thought, well, I'll get online and I'll share it with you guys. Because she's going to have to put up with it for the next 8 months. It's going to drive her crazy. But REO Speedwagon is coming to town. And so I'm a huge, huge fan of REO Speedwagon. They were the first band I ever bought an album by. It was Wheels Are Turning. That was the first album I ever owned. And I saw them twice in concert when I was a teenager. And I had a look online, and the lineup of the band is currently right now the same as the lineup when I saw them in concert like 27 years ago. So that's pretty exciting. And even though they're getting up there in age, the footage I've seen of them in concert from the last couple of years, they seem to be moving around pretty well. You know, a lot of times you see these artists or these bands who are in their, you know, mid to late 60s or early 70s, and this was the case when I saw Judas Priest earlier this year, and Rob Halford. Rob Halford's not getting around very well. He's not moving around very well. But the guys in REO Speedwagon still seem to be. They seem to have a lot of energy, and they seem to be getting around the stage just fine and having a ball playing those old songs. So, yeah, my brother and his daughter are coming up from Cheyenne for it next year, and like I said, it's eight months away. But I've been playing their songs on my iPad just over and over for the last week. Yeah, Kelly is absolutely tired of hearing "Roll with the Changes," which is understandable, I suppose. But it's funny, when I was at Rotary last week, I asked my friend Jeremy if he was going to be going, and he said, no, I'm not going to be going. He said, I'm not even sure I could name one of their songs, and which is slightly surprising because Jeremy's only like 3 years younger than me. But yeah, he's like, I'm not even sure I could name one of their songs. So I was like, are you kidding? I said, I could sing off the top of my head 12 of their songs right now. And he said, well, what are some of their songs? And so I, very quietly, I didn't want to upset people at Rotary, but yeah, so I just sang him a couple of lines from a few of their songs, "Roll with the Changes," "Take It on the Run," and yeah, and of course he identified both of them and remembered both of them. But yeah, I'm not sure why anybody would not go see REO Speedwagon if they're in their town. I mean, this is one of those bands that really kind of defined a decade. You know, Kelly and I were talking the other day about which 80s bands we would most like to see in concert, and Kelly was like, you'd like to see REO Speedwagon again over seeing Journey, and because I've never seen Journey in concert, and I would actually, even though I love Journey, and Kelly was, I said REO Speedwagon is the band I'd probably most like to see, and Kelly said, well, what about Heart? And I had forgotten about Heart, because I love Heart. I especially love 80s Heart, even though Heart themselves doesn't love 80s Heart. But yeah, so I've never seen Heart in concert, and I would maybe want to see Heart before seeing REO Speedwagon a third time, depending on, I guess, what's going on with Heart. I'm not sure. I feel like I read somewhere that the Wilson sisters had a falling out recently. So if seeing Heart meant seeing Heart without Ann Wilson, I wouldn't really be interested in seeing Heart, since Ann Wilson for me is Heart. I mean, she is like the greatest female vocalist ever, maybe. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. Again, this was just more test than anything, and since there was at least one comment during the video, it seems to have worked on some level. I have no idea what the playback is like. It might not still be good enough for me to actually read A Christmas Carol to you guys, but I'll give it a watch, and if it looks good, and if there's interest, yeah, let's count on that. Like in the week, maybe leading up to Christmas, me reading a Christmas Carol live to you guys, and we can kind of have a Christmas moment, uh, or series of moments. It'll probably be a total of, I don't know, 6 hours or something like that that I spend reading. But I think it'll be fun. So hope you guys had a great holiday weekend. I'm sad to see that it's Sunday, but this has been really kind of rejuvenating for me having 5 days off. I'm gonna be thrown right back into the fire of the Christmas season. For advertising, it's just absolutely crazy. And then trying to get like all of your January business lined up as well. It's just a mad time. But anyway, I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Adios. See here. I don't know how to turn it off. Let's just do that. Oh, still live. Okay. There we go. Stop streaming. Yes.